Russell of Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. Let me adjust my camera. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. I was a little at the top, right? I was at the top. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Happy, what's today? What is today? Happy Hump Day! Happy Wednesday, July 2nd. It's 4 o'clock. It's actually 4:05, right? I know I'm a little late. Well, I'm not late because I don't necessarily have a time for the daily check-in. As long as I do it Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, isn't that all that matters, right? So anyway, I guess let me see. Hold on one second. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Uh, 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 Okay, there we go. See, you know what? Every now and then you get challenged. Somebody will challenge you. The service that you use will challenge you. The internet, the Wi-Fi, something's gonna challenge you, right? But how do you respond to it, right? It's all about how you respond to the challenges. So there you go. So sorry about that. Sorry about that little glitch. If it happens again, I'll just have to do it again. All right. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well. This is a daily check-in. I do the daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's all in the name of hospitality. You guys know on Tuesdays I do On Air with Russell of Hotels. That's that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about. That one goes for about an hour. This one goes for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes, somewhere around there. I always want to say that just to be safe, right? I used to say 15 to 20, but sometimes I don't get out of my monologue for like 15 minutes, right? I'm just going on tirades or whatever. But anyway, but it's all in the name of hospitality. Everything I talk about is hospitality, the good, the bad, the ugly, the challenging. And we talk about hotels. We can talk about restaurants sometimes. We talk about those non-meat eats because I'm all about the non-meat eats, right? I talk about meeting planning, being a meeting professional, hotel site selection. Mention hotels, CVBs, DMOs, DMCs. We talk about all those things in the world of meetings, because that's the world that we live in, right? Now, me being removed from being on property, now of course I'm immersed in the meetings aspect of it, but still spend a lot of time in well, of course I spend a lot of time in hotels because the meetings that I plan or the ones that I do hotel site selection are in hotels. So of course, hence the name Russell of Hotels, right? So there you go. So it's all about hospitality. However you want to cut it up, dice it, slice it, it's all about hospitality. And I'm here for all that, okay? And every time I do a daily check-in or On Air with Russell of Hotels, one thing's gonna be for sure. I'm always gonna showcase a hotel. So today is the VEA, VEA, yeah, that's spelled right. There's some people on the East Coast like, I've never heard of VEA. What is that? I've heard of Newport Beach, but I've never heard of VEA. Well, to me, it's one of the premier hotels in Orange County. That's what I'm gonna say, in Orange County, especially specifically Newport Beach. But I've had a couple groups there, and they all walk away with the same experience. Well, different experiences, but the same, like, oh my God, that was great. The service, the food was elevated. It was a next level. It was the next tier. That's what I always say. And that's not me. That's what the clients tell me. So there you go. So that's what VEA is all about. So today's hotel, so every scene that I change, there'll be a different photograph or video or whatever. That will be the VEA in Newport Beach. So this is the view from my room when I had a room there on the golf course. So they have at least one 18-hole golf course, and you can see how beautiful it is. And if you look in the distance, you can see the Pacific Ocean. Okay, you'll see the harbor, and then you'll see the ocean from there. So there you go. Just giving you a little background on what you're seeing, right? And if you guys did not check out On Air with Russell of Hotels, yesterday comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. If you didn't check it out, it's still there on the replay. So please go to LinkedIn or YouTube and check it out. Okay, so the replay is always going to be there. I actually put it on Facebook too. So if you happen to be on Facebook, that's good too. But just remember this: if you're tuning live, be on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Russell of Hotels. Subscribe to it, hit that button, bing. And once you subscribe, you'll get notifications when I go live or about to go live. And that's because that's important, right? It's important that you do that. And there's something else I was gonna say, but I forgot. But yeah, so oh, you can make comments right now. So my comments are open. I'm live on YouTube, live on LinkedIn. So feel free to make comments, and they'll come up on the screen in real time, and I'll put them up on the screen in real time, so the whole world can see like what the hell these people are talking about. They might be like, is this Russell? This guy's a jerk or whatever. Whatever they say, I'm gonna put it on the screen. Okay, so there you go. So hopefully, they keep it keep it clean, people. Keep it clean. So anyway, let's move on because these things don't have to be that long, but I tend to make them long because I get kind of long-winded. I have no one else to talk to but you. So there you go. Anyway, real quick, let's move on. Hospitality, global hospitality, yeah, top 50 social media influencers in global hospitality for 2025. That's me. Some people, I had posted this, just this right here, that's right next to me. I had posted just this global hospitality thing, and they're like, well, let me see the article because I don't believe that you were, you're in this publication. I'm like, what? People, I guess they think I'm that creative where I'm going to come up with this thing, right? Well, now I've accompanied it with the article. So the article's right there, okay? Tony Hughes, comment on here. See Miss Tony Hughes? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make it that big. But see, that's her comment right there. It says, hi, Russell. So there you go. So if you make comments on YouTube, your comments will be on the screen. So just like Miss Tony Hughes, she sent out a shout out. Thank you, Miss Tony Hughes. It's been a minute, right? I haven't talked to her in a while. I think I tried, she called me and I called her back, but she didn't answer. So that's like a year ago. So, hey, I tried, Miss Hughes. Okay, I tried. So anyway, so feel free to make your comments. But yeah, so I just want to make sure I put the front cover as well as the article, so people would know that, yeah, that's actually me, and there's actually something written about me as well. So once again, shout out to the International Hospitality Institute, Dr. Jeffrey O. I appreciate the distinction, the recognition. I appreciate everything that comes along with it. And once again, I wanted to congratulate the other 49 as well. Okay, so other 49 people got their name on the cover as well as their picture on the cover and an article within the magazine as well. So we do appreciate that. And Miss Tony Hughes had another comment. She said, surprise. Okay, all right, surprise, yeah. Thank you for the surprise, Miss Tony Hughes. So yeah, so that's how your comments will come across. Just like that, all you gotta do is make a comment on YouTube and it's right there. You can make comments on LinkedIn as well. It's just that they won't come on my screen and I won't be able to put it on so everybody can see in real time. But I will go back after the show's over and check LinkedIn to make sure, or to see if there's any comments, and I'll address those comments at that time. So there you go. Let's move on. So once again, this is the Veya, the blog. Okay, so I have a blog, and in fact, do I need to change this font color? Every time I do this, I always forget that I have darker, I must have had a lighter color shirt on earlier. I don't know, but I like to make sure I lighten it up so you can see it. Black on black is cool, right? But it's better if I put some gold in there so you can see. Just like this hat, this black on black, right? But you can see Russell of Hotels right there, right? Every time I see this hat, at first I wasn't really sure about the black on black, but now that I look at it, it's like, it looks pretty dope, okay? I must say so, right? It looks pretty dope. I need to get more that are made like this. But anyway, so this is, the blog, okay? So anything that I talk about, any of the topics will always be on the blog, including today's topic, but it's not on the blog yet. I will do it after. For some reason, I was having some technical issues with pasting it or posting it onto my blog. But how to get to the blog, just go russellofhotels.com. Anything that I'll talk about today will be there. You don't have to write notes, anything like that. Anything I've talked about in the past will be on the blog. So there's past topics that are there. Feel free to go back there and take a look at them. I'd appreciate it. Send a little note as well. Email me, whatever you want to do. If you have comments about some of the things that I talk about. So there you go. So once again, the blog is on russellofhotels.com. And just don't be limited to the blog because that's my website. All my information is there, including my email, my phone number. If you want to get a hold of me, feel free. How I started, Russell of Hotels, who I am, how many years of experience do I have in the hotel industry? It's all there. How I came up with this, Russell of Hotels and the hotels I worked in and the podcast, how many episodes, all that stuff is there, right? All that stuff is there. So I'm an open book. I'm an open book. Okay, so the topic for today is why sales managers shouldn't rely solely on email. So for the last couple of days, maybe the last couple of weeks, I've been on salespeople. Okay, and a lot of this stuff comes from experiences, past experiences. Dealing with being on the hotel side for many years as a sales manager, then a director of sales and marketing, then ultimately becoming a general manager. You remember a lot of things, right? And then if I don't remember things, there's enough people out there that tell me, meeting planners or salespeople that let me know, hey, the meeting planners do this, they suck, they do this. And then the meeting planners like, the hotel people, they suck, they do this, And I'm in the middle because I have experience on both sides, right? So I can speak intelligently on both sides. I'm like, well, I understand this, okay, and I understand that. So these are things that I'm just bringing up because these are conversations that I've had with fellow meeting planners, meeting professionals, hotel site selection people, the whole gamut, right? So I'm not afraid to share the information because it's going to help someone. It's going to help someone out there is going to be listening like, you know what? He's absolutely right. Or maybe I need to think about that more, on both sides, either the meeting planner side or the hotel sales side, even the CVB side. I mean, it's kind of hotels and CVBs are kind of almost in the same boat when it comes to email and follow up and all that kind of stuff. So this is just real quick hitting things. It may not apply to you, I don't know, but like I said, it's just something that come up in conversations that I had with people, and of course, I want to share stuff, right? Because I don't go back. I have a platform to talk about these things. And hopefully, things get better. And that's what it's all about, right? It's not about, oh, he did this or she did that or they didn't do this right or whatever. Well, you know what? We all make mistakes. We all fall short of doing what we're supposed to be doing or following up or whatever the heck it is. But these things can be corrected. They don't always have to be that way. We can correct them. And sometimes we don't know if we're doing things right or wrong until someone brings it out or points it out to us. Okay, so there you go. So this is just a conversation. These are things that, maybe they're on my mind. That's not necessarily someone, they're on someone else's mind. But like I said, these are conversations I have, but I'm the one that's bringing it up. No one else is bringing this stuff up. I'm the one that's bringing it to the table, okay? So why sales managers shouldn't rely solely on email. Number one, build relationships. Emails are easy to ignore. How many people have ignored emails or act like, I never got that. I didn't get that. When did you send that? How many people have done that? Follow up with a call or even a video message to stand out, okay? So you want to stand out. You want to build relationships. How many relationships have I built with emails? Not many, right? So not for once, but initially they are easy to ignore, okay? Not saying that everyone is doing that, but sometimes people do ignore those. But if you follow up with a phone call and say, hey, I just sent you an email message, I want to make sure you got it. Oh my God, let me check it out. Because, people get busy, and we know that on both sides, people get busy. On the hotel side, the meeting planners or hotel site selection people, we all get busy and we all lose track of what's going on. We may have seen it, but then, another email comes in that maybe is a little bit more pressing and we got to go to that. And next thing you know, the end of the day is there and we forgot about that email that we received from our hotel partner or someone from a hotel, right? So let's just make sure that we follow it up with a phone call. That thing that maybe you don't use the one that's on your desk, maybe use the one that's in your pocket. I don't know, but make sure we follow it with a phone call or even a video message. Now, how many people do a video message? I'm gonna tell you this. The day I get a video message from one of my hotel partners or CVB partners, they will have a client for life. I'm gonna tell you that right now, okay? If someone sends me a video like, hey, Russell, this is so-and-so. It's nice to see you. I just sent you an email. I want to make sure you got it. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Wouldn't that make a big statement? That's someone that wants to build a relationship. That's someone who wants your business. Because guess what? Not everyone's doing that. How many people are using video messaging? I don't know. I'll just tell you this. I've never received one. I have never received one at all. Okay, on either side, the hotel side or the meeting planning side, I have never received one. So the one that does that gets it. They gets the pot. They get the pot of gold. Okay, so just try to be as creative as you can, because remember, you're competing not just maybe not just with your hotels in your comp set, but a lot of times hotels are competing for competing for business in other destinations. You got to remember that, right? It's not just your destination. It's just not your comp set. It could be in another different region, because sometimes when I'm sourcing business or sourcing my meetings, one may be in California, or they can be a group of hotels in California they may be interested in, but there could be some in Arizona they're interested in. They may be regional. Okay, Arizona and California in the same region for the most part, right? So it can be different regions. So just know that you could be competing. I can't even speak today. You can be competing with regional hotels, not just, or regional destinations, not just the ones that are in your backyard. Okay, so just remember that. And the one that makes a big splash is the one that's going to get the attention. Because believe me, if someone sends me a video message saying, "Hey Russell, this is Tony Hughes. I haven't seen you in a long time. What's going on?" Is that going to prompt me to pick up the phone and call her? Probably so. More likely, yes. On a scale of 1 to 10, a 10. Okay, so anyway, there you go. So speed matters. Now, that's number 2. Number 2, speed matters. Time-sensitive leads can be lost in a crowded inbox. I'm going to say that again. Time-sensitive leads can be lost in a crowded inbox. A quick call can lock in interest before a competitor does. So when we send those leads out, or maybe we send, you send the leads or emails or whatever, the one that responds quickly can get the business, right? So make sure we are responding quickly. And this goes both sides, right? Even on my side, if somebody sends me something, like not necessarily, right? Because I don't necessarily have to take it, right? It's up to not up to me, right? So, but the first ones that respond to me, I'm sending it to my client, right? For the most part. So if no one from your hotel send me anything, and then 3 other hotels from your same comp set send me things, well, guess who's going to get to my client first? Them. So make sure we're responding as fast as we can. We'll try to say we'll do it by the end of the day. Well, sometimes by the end of the day may be too late. So look at the dates of things that need to be responded to. When do they need to be responded to by? Is it the next day, couple days, or whatever? Because when you send out a CVent lead, and people know what CVent is, the people that on either side, meeting planning side or the hotel side, they know what it is. There's normally a date on there, right? There's a date that we need this by this date. Okay, so get it to that by that date, same day if you can. I understand you got other stuff going on, but make sure you're looking at the dates of when these programs are even going to take place. If they're in 2 years and you have something that's coming up in 6 months, well, guess what? Which one should you respond to first? The one that's in 6 months, not the one that's in 2 years. That one can wait. That one can wait. Anyway, so just make sure we understand what's going on. Speed does matter. Time-sensitive leads can be lost in a crowded inbox. A quick call can lock in interest before a competitor does. So even if you don't respond via email, call them and say, "Hey, Russell, we're interested. I just said I have other things that I'm working on." And you know what? And I understand that, right? A lot of people will understand that. But know that we want your business, and blah, 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 blah. And maybe we can have just a quick conversation of what the rate would be. Do you have the space available or whatever? And then respond to the email when you can, right? By end of the day or whatever you guys come up with. So make sure you do respond. If you can't respond via email quickly, pick up the damn phone and call the people, okay? They're waiting for you. Number 3, personal touch wins. A phone call or phone conversation builds rapport and allows for immediate feedback, questions, and clarifications. How can you clarify anything on the email? And it's going to take time. You can, but it's going to take time, right? So why don't you just pick up the phone and say, "Hey," and I get these calls all the time, right? And I welcome these calls well, hey, I got this RFP from you. Now, did you mean this, or can they eat lunch in the same room? Did you only need, you just did run of house. How many kings and how many doubles did you need, right? Did you need any suites for any VIP upgrades or whatever? What about food and beverage? I know we, mentioned a $10,000 food and beverage minimum, but we're okay with, between 5 and 10. I mean, whatever it is, call them and let them know. These are the things that you can iron out via phone, and then follow that up with an email. Follow that phone call up with an email, because you do want to make sure you have things documented, because there's planners out there that, well, you said this or you didn't say that. Well, if it's in an email, you need to make sure. Yeah, so any phone call, I'm telling you, you need to follow that up with an email as well. Okay, so this doesn't replace email. I'm not saying that email does not have its place, but you're trying to get the business first, right? Try to get that business first, and sometimes a phone call will suffice for that, right? But you still have to, you want to document the phone calls, right? So especially when it has to do with like contracts and all this kind of stuff and the addendums and all that. And sometimes just a conversation is not enough. You need to follow up with a phone call. Per our conversation yesterday at 1 o'clock, boom, this is what we talked about. So anyway, there you go. So why sales managers shouldn't rely solely on email. Number one was to build relationships. And I mentioned that emails are easy to ignore. Follow up with a phone call or even a video message to stand out. Who's going to do that? Number two, speed does matter. Time-sensitive leads can be lost in a crowded inbox. A quick call can lock in interest before a competitor does. And number three, personal touch wins. A phone call builds rapport and allows for immediate feedback, questions, and clarification. That's it. See, that was painless, right? So there you go. Let's move on. We're almost done here. Remember I said 20, 25 minutes? I'm at 22 minutes, okay? Whoo! Woo! Okay, so once again, this is the Vea Newport Beach. Love this hotel. I just love it. I mean, I love the decor, the ambiance, the service, the food. They have some good non-meat eats there as well. So anyway, On Air with Russell of Hotels, the show that I just talked about a little while ago that comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, on live on YouTube and live on LinkedIn. I just want to that's a reminder, right? So show number 304 is coming up next Tuesday. I just did 303 yesterday. Yeah, that's 304 shows. Yes, I've done 304 shows. Can you believe it? I can't believe it either. But it's so, and counting, right? So make sure if you haven't checked it out, you can go and check out the replay. Like I said, just go to LinkedIn or YouTube. There. I never delete any of this stuff. It's going to be there forever. Long after I'm gone, we're going to go through the archives and like, oh my God, I can't believe this Russell Hotels. He's really on to something. That's what they're going to be saying one day. I don't know when. I'll be long gone, but someone's going to be saying that. But anyway, show number 304 is coming up Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST. That means 1 o'clock here in California. On the East Coast, that would be 4 o'clock, okay? So just in case you did not know, because believe me, there's some people that didn't know that. Anyway, so we're almost done here. So any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. My email is right there, russell@russellofhotels.com. Go to my website, russellofhotels.com. You can find anything there about me. And remember this, you can't expect results if you're hiding. Visibility is not luck, it's strategy. It's strategy that I do this show, this daily check-in, and On Air with Russell of Hotels. For years, I only did On Air with Russell of Hotels, but guess what? I didn't think I was reaching enough people. Okay, so what did I do? I said, you know what? One day a week is not enough for me. I'm gonna give you 4 more days. So that's what I came up with the daily check-in, which is Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So this is the daily check-in, goes for about 20, 25 minutes or so. Where are we right now? We're at 24 minutes. Damn it, I'm almost done. So this is all about strategy. So being visible should be about strategy. It's not luck that people find you. No, if you find me, it's because it's part of my strategy, right? So you fell into the trap. So if you found me, that means you fell into the trap of Russell of Hotels, because that was part of my plan, right? That's part of the strategy. Everybody that deals with this social media thing, well, I'm going to say they have a strategy. Well, they should have a strategy. You shouldn't just be out there hitting and missing, reaching the wrong people or whatever. No, you got to hone in on the people that are there for you that are in the hospitality, or there are people that need this type of service. They need hotels, they need CVBs. They may not even know what that is, right? But they need to learn about those things, right? So my job is to make sure that everyone knows exactly what the heck I'm talking about, right? Because 50% of the people that listen to this show or watch this show are people that are outside of the hotel industry. And that's good, because you want to reach people that are outside the industry. What good am I to the people in the industry? Other than, of course, I give good information, right? But my clients come from outside of the industry. They're corporations. They're, could be insurance firms or law firms or accounting firms or some associations or Smurfy groups. And you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Smurfy groups or sports groups or whatever kind of groups they are. So it's important that you link in and connect with people from other industries if you're a meeting planner, right? Or maybe if you're even a hotel, right? Because you don't want other hotel people. They're not going to use your hotel, are they? Probably not, right? So no, you want to make sure you connect with multiple organizations, people that are outside of your box, so to speak. So that's what I do. That's why I do it. And that's why the strategy is in place, right? I'm trying to reach people, not just the hotel people, not just the CVB people, the DMOs, the restaurant people, hospitality people. No, I'm trying to reach everyone, because everyone may have a need for hotels. Everyone may have a need for a hotel site selection person, someone that will help them navigate through hotels. But I also do hotel consulting on the sales side as well as the operations side as well. So of course, that's why I do appeal to the hotel people as well, right? So, but you want to have a mixed bag of people that you're connected with. So visibility is not luck. It's part of the strategy, or it should be part of your strategy, okay? So hopefully that was clear. You understand what the heck I'm talking about. But check this out. Visibility leads to brand awareness. Brand awareness leads to brand excitement. Brand excitement leads to bookings, okay? And what does bookings lead to? Some money, that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's what every hotel is looking for, right? They're looking for bookings, but then they complain about the bookings because they don't have the visibility. They don't have the visibility because they don't know that they need to be visible. Every hotel out there that I come across thinks that everyone knows their hotel exists. Guess what? Newsflash, no, they don't. They remember the last person that came to talk to them, or the last, thing that flashed about that particular brand or whatever. But even within the brands, like say you're a big M, one of the M brands, right? There's 31 M brands, right? Each individual hotel is its own brand, and each individual hotel needs to do their own visibility strategy, okay? I mean, it's fine that we can write off of the name, but it comes down to what address are you? Because there can be several big M's in the same area, but do you care about the other ones across the street, or do you care about the one that you work in? You care about the one that you work in. So guess who needs to be out there shaking the pom-pom front, or one of those sign twirlers or whatever? If that's your strategy, that's being visible, right? That is visibility. That's not luck. It is strategy. Someone's out there on the street twirling that sign so you can, with the arrow pointing over here. It's the same thing, right? But this is we're a little bit more sophisticated than that, right? So we're doing things on social media. We're taking advantage of that, because we know that people don't know that our brand exists. I know that everyone does not know that Russell of Hotels exists. So that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm on 5 days a week, right? Because I want to make sure people know, they get comfortable with me. They get to the point where, let me call this guy. I have some questions. Let me call this guy and ask him if he can help me with this, or if he can point me in the right direction with that. It's countless people that have just picked up the phone and called me and say, hey, I see you on here and I have questions for you. I have someone that's now a good friend of mine that several years ago was looking for a podcast in hospitality. And she found me. She is in Texas, right? So she just happened to Google one day podcast in hospitality, because she was thinking about doing a hospitality podcast. And she got me. She called me, pick up the phone and call me. And that's what I welcome people to do. Pick up the phone and call me. And that's what she did. And next, we started talking. We talked for about 2 hours. An initial phone call. We talk about 2 hours. Normally, I only give people like 15 minutes. I gave her 2 hours, and we talked about things. And to this day, we're friends. We've met. We've seen each other. We are friends to this day because of that. And that was about 3 or 4 years ago. So believe me, this stuff works if we work it, right? So once again, and I'm gonna leave you at this because I'm getting kind of winded, and I'm over my damn. I'm at 30 minutes now. So visibility leads to brand awareness leads to brand excitement, and brand excitement leads to bookings, which means revenue, which means money, okay, which means, you know, a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So anyway, until tomorrow, you guys have a great day. Happy hump day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Once again, this is Russell of Hotels, and as always, I'm out.